Good morning, children. So after the completion of the two chapters, so today we will start with the new chapter, that is nothing but human reproduction. Okay? Yeah. We will start the discussion with respect to the meaning of the reproduction. You know, the reproduction is the production of young ones by an organism. So in the first chapter only, while we are discussing about the chapter reproduction in the organism, we were discussed about the meaning of the reproduction, also characteristic features of the reproduction. I think you people remember all those things, isn't it? And when it comes to the humans, human beings are sexually reproducing and viviparous. So that means, what is the meaning of that one? Yes. So they reproduces sexually by the production of male and female gametes and viviparous. They give birth to their young ones, isn't it? So such organisms are known as viviparous. Of course, human beings they are also. Okay, so they reproduces sexually and also they give birth to their young ones. So that's why they are also known as viviparous. And the reproductive events in the humans, they include generally, okay, so note down. So these are all the terminologies we will discuss later. The gametogenesis, insemination, the fertilization, implantation, gestation or pregnancy, and also parturition. Okay, so these terminologies we will discuss when it comes to the topics and all. Now, so let us discuss how humans are generally classified. You know very well that, so based on the sexuality, so and the reproductive system, isn't it? How we will generally classify or differentiate into male and female? Yes, based on the human reproductive system. So if they are consisting of male reproductive system, they are considered as male, and if they are consisting of female reproductive system, they are considered as females, isn't it? Today we will start the discussion with respect to the male reproductive system. Okay, this is the complete diagrammatic representation male reproductive system. The male reproductive system, generally, it is located in the pelvic region. You know, while we are discussing in the last year, the skeletal system, I told you, the male reproductive system, where it is located in the pelvic region, isn't it? And what it will, the reproductive system includes, the male reproductive system, it includes a pair of tests along with accessory ducts and the glands. They are nothing but accessory glands and the external genitalia. External genitalia is commonly known as penis, isn't it? And of course, if you see the further structures, the accessory ducts, it will be consisting of the retitestis, vas efferentia, epididymis, vas deferens, and the accessory glands. Majorly there are three: prostate glands 1, and seminal vesicles are of 2. Copper glands, they are also known as bulbourethral glands 2, isn't it? Observe the diagram right side. This diagram which is present in your textbook also, the male reproductive system. Observe one by one, the beginning from the erector, the seminal vesicles, urinary bladder, vas deferens, prostate, gland, penis, urethra, glans penis, there is a foreskin, testis, scrotum, and also bulbourethral glands. I hope you must have observed all these things. But in the examination, you should write the male reproductive system, the frontal view. Remember, the frontal view is very easy for the purpose of writing also. The most probably in all the exams they were asked only this diagram only. Okay, yes. Let us discuss one by one. Yes. So in this, the first structure, the male reproductive system, it is consisting of pair test, isn't it? Yes. The primary sex organs that produce sperms and testosterone. Okay, that is nothing but the pair tests are nothing but the primary sex organs that produces the male reproductive structures, that is nothing but sperms and testosterone. The testosterones are found within abdomen. Remember, the tests where it is generally situated. As I said in the beginning, the tests are situated outside the abdominal cavity, that is extra-abdominal, within a pouch called scrotum. Then the scrotum helps in maintaining the low temperature, okay, of test. It's about 2 to 2.5 degrees centigrade lower than the normal internal body temperature is necessary for spermatogenesis. Okay, so if it is more than that, or if it will be very less than that, it affects the spermatogenesis. So that is the problem with if it will be increases or it is decreases. So that's why generally it will maintain the temperature. And in adults, each testis is oval in shape and with the length of about 4 to 5 centimeter and width of about 2 to 3 centimeter. Okay. See, if you observe the diagrammatic sectional view of the seminiferous tubule, so this question they may ask in theory also as well as practical. It is necessary. So what it will be containing? As I was telling about, each testis is oval in shape. Okay, and the length. What is the length? That is nothing but in adults, each testis is oval in shape with a length of about 4 to 5 centimeter and a width of about 2 to 3 centimeter, because it slightly differs from one person to another person. So that's why they were given 4 to 5 and 2 to 3 like that. And each testis, it's contain about 250 testicular lobules. They are also known as compartmentalized structures. That means each testis which contains about 250 compartments called testicular lobules, and each testicular lobule contains 1 to 3 highly coiled seminiferous tubules in which sperms are produced. One last question they may ask, where exactly sperms are produced? Okay, the sperms are which is produced inside that is seminiferous tubules. Okay, then and the wall of each seminiferous tubule is lined by two types of the cells, namely that is nothing but male germ cells and sertolite cells. Okay, so the male germ cells, there are also nothing but, so what you call, yes, spermatogonia. They undergo meiotic division leading to sperm formation. And what about the sertolite cells? They are also known the supporting cells. They provide the nourishment. That means we can also say they provide nutrition or nourishment to the germ cells during spermatogenesis. Okay, yes. And also remember the cerebralized cells give shape, especially during the development. Because of this only they will provide the nourishment to the developing spermatogonia. Okay, I hope you can identify the right side given diagrammatic representation. In that one you can identify what are the structures of spermatozoa, spermatids, secondary spermatocytes, primary spermatocyte, cerebralized cells and spermatogonium. Okay, and remember the region between adjacent seminiferous tubule is called interstitial spaces, contain small blood vessels, and intestinal cells or Leydig cells which synthesize the secrete testicular hormones. They are also called androgen or testosterone. They are commonly known as male sex hormone. Okay, so that means the region outside the seminiferous tubule. Okay, so what it will be containing? A small blood vessels. They are also containing interstitial cells or Leydig cells and immunologically competent cells. Okay, and the Leydig cells they secrete the testicular hormones. They are commonly known as male hormones. In generally we can also say androgen. Okay, so this is the structure and lot. That means diagrammatic sectional view of the seminiferous tubule. Observe properly. So inside the complete compartment, what you can identify? The dividing spermatocytes, spermatids, and substancular cells, capillary, then spermatozoa, interstitial cells, spermatogonium at the center. That is nothing but empty space, lumen. Okay, yes. So after this one, the second region. Okay, the second one is nothing but accessory ducts. Yes, I was telling about what it will be consisting. These accessory ducts, they are also known as duct system. The male sex accessory ducts, which is include retitestis, it is commonly known as irregular cavities, then vasopharyngia, they are nothing but series of affine tubules, then epididymis, which stores the sperms temporarily, and vas deferens. Okay, I hope you can identify the right side structure. Are you observing? Yes, the vasopharyngia, vas deferens, retitestis, the body of the epididymis, tail of the epididymis, outer layer of the testis, seminiferous tubule, then epididymis head, the blood vessels and nerves, then spermatic cord. Okay, yeah. So generally vas deferens joins with the duct of seminal vesicle to form common ejaculatory duct. Okay, see, as I was telling above, from the beginning, the conduction, how it will be takes place. The conduction of the sperms through the accessory ducts. The beginning from the seminiferous tubules, then it will be leads towards the retitestis, then after will move towards the vasopharyngia, then towards epididymis, then vas deferens, then it will be enters into the common ejaculatory duct, urethra, finally which leads to the urethral meatus. Okay, so let me to explain briefly. See, the seminiferous tubules of the testis, it will be opens into the vas efferentia through retitestis. Did you got it? Then the vas efferentia leaves the testis and opens into the epididymis located along the posterior surface of each testis. Then the epididymis leads to vas deferens that ascends to the abdomen and loops over the urinary bladder. And later it receives a duct from seminal vesicle and opens into urethra as the ejaculatory ducts. Then finally the urethra originates from the urinary bladder and extends through the penis to its external opening is called urethral, that is nothing but urethral meatus. Are you observing? Yes. The urethra receives the ducts of prostate and corpus glands and passes through the penis. I hope you can understand. You can identify easily all the ducts. So after the accessory ducts, let us discuss briefly about the accessory glands here. So actually accessory glands, it includes paired seminal vesicles and a prostate gland and a pair of, that is, corpus gland. They are also known as bulbourethral glands. Okay. Yes. The secretions of these, that means their collective secretion, is called seminal plasma. Okay, which is rich in fructose because they provide nourishment, and also calcium, which is responsible for the activation, and certain enzymes. Okay. Sometimes they will ask, what is the composition of the semen? Okay. So actually semen is a slightly alkaline fluid. The pH is about 7.2 to 7.6. Okay, that is hydrogen ion concentration pH, which containing sperms and male reproductive axillary gland secretions that is produced by male during copulation. Okay. In generally, we can also say that seminal plasma along with sperms constitutes the semen. Okay. So after this, the functions. Okay. When it comes to the functions of the seminal plasma, so which helps for the transporting, so that means male reproductive structure, that is sperms, after the releasing. Okay, so that male reproductive structures, they have to move towards the female, that means, yes, egg, right? So that means the male reproductive structures, they have to move towards the female reproductive structure. So this, the seminal plasma has for transporting sperms, which supplies or provides the nourishment or nutrition, that means to the sperms. They provide, that is, alkalinity to contract acidity. That is nothing but contract means, so if it become too acidic or if it will become too basic, it will not survive. For that purpose, they have to maintain the acid base. Okay, so for that purpose, it will be provide alkalinity to contract acidity of the uterus. Then the secretions of corpus glands lubricate the penis so that it will avoid the wearing and tearing process during the coitus. Then the secretion of epididymis, vas deferens, seminal vesicles and prostate helps for the maturation and motility of the sperms. Then the last one, penis. Okay, penis is commonly known as external genitalia. Okay, yes, the penis is a male external genitalia. It is a copulatory organ and it is made up of a special type of the tissue which is called erectile spongy tissue. Okay, when spongy tissue is filled with the blood, the penis erects. It facilitates the insemination. I told no. So during the coitus or when the male shows the sexual characters towards the female, during copulation the penis will become erect, isn't it? So because of this, when the spongy tissue is filled with the blood, the penis become erect and it facilitates the insemination. Okay, and the cone-shaped tip of the penis is called glans penis. It is covered by, it is prefused, is commonly known as foreskin. Okay, so that means the enlarged end of the penis is covered by a loose fold of the skin. It is also called foreskin. Okay, yeah. So and remember, you must have heard about the circumcision. Okay, do you heard of this term? Circumcision, CUNCISION. What is the meaning of this one? The surgical removal of the foreskin of the penis, or surgery that removes the foreskin covering the glans penis, is also known as circumcision. The circumcision may be performed for religious or cultural reasons or health reasons. Okay, yeah. So this is what about the male reproductive system. Let it be. So next class we will continue the female reproductive system. Okay. So before going to end this, the topic, let me to recall completely. The human beings are sexually reproducing and viviparous organisms. Okay, the male reproductive system is located in the pelvic region. It includes a pair of tests along with the accessory ducts, glands and external genitalia, isn't it? They are majorly, and we also discussed about a diagrammatic sectional view of the seminiferous tubule and complete structure of the male reproductive system. Okay, so let it be. Thank you. The remaining things we will continue in the next